Ladies and gentlemen, listen. Family is the foundation of everything. It's where you learn your first lessons about love, about respect, and about responsibility. But let's be real here. Family ain't always easy. We don't choose our family. God does. And sometimes family comes with drama, misunderstandings, and pain. See, the truth about family issues is this. Everybody's got them. You might think you're the only one dealing with a stubborn uncle, a jealous cousin, or an argument that's been going on for 10 years. But trust me, every family has cracks. What makes the difference is how you deal with those cracks. I learned this in my own life. There were times when family didn't understand me, times when they judged me, doubted me, or even hurt me. But you got to make a choice. Either you let those wounds define you, or you let forgiveness and love redefine your family. Family problems don't go away by ignoring them. They get healed by facing them, by communicating, and most importantly, by forgiving. You can't move forward in life carrying old grudges from your own bloodline. That weight is too heavy. At the end of the day, no matter how messy it gets, family is still family. You can find new friends, new coworkers, even new partners, but you can't find new brothers, new sisters, or a new mother. That bond is permanent. So here's the truth. Family issues are real, but so is family love. You might not fix every problem, but you can decide not to let those problems steal your peace. Choose love over pride, forgiveness over grudges, and unity over division. Because when you look back on your life, it won't be the arguments that matter. It'll be the moments of love, support, and togetherness. That's the truth about family issues. Family is the foundation. It's where everything begins. When you come into this world, before you meet teachers, before you meet friends, before you meet co-workers, you meet family. They're the people you first see, the people who first love you, the people who first teach you right from wrong. But let's be honest here. Family isn't always easy. Yeah, it's messy sometimes, it's complicated, and sometimes it can hurt you more than anybody else. And that's the truth about family issues. Every single person walking this earth has them. You look at people on TV, you look at people in your neighborhood, you think got it all together. They smiling in their pictures, they posting on social media, they looking like the perfect family, but behind closed doors, somebody not speaking to somebody mad about what was said years ago. Somebody holding on to something so small that it grew into something too big. Family issues are not unique to you. They're part of being human. I know because I've lived it. There were times in my own life where family didn't see the vision I had for myself. Times when they judged me, doubted me, didn't support me the way I thought they should. And you know what? It hurt worse than when strangers doubted me. Because when it's family, you expect them to always have your back. But here's the truth. Just because they love you doesn't mean they always understand you. And that's where a lot of issues come from. Misunderstanding, miscommunication, misplaced expectations. You think they should always see your point of view, and they think you should see theirs. And when neither side wants to bend, that's where walls go up. Some of y'all right now got family members you ain't spoken to in 5 years because of something that could have been fixed with one honest conversation, one phone call, one I'm sorry, one I forgive you. But pride gets in the way. Pride destroys more families than anything else. See, you can replace a friend, you can find new co-workers, you can even start a new relationship, but you can't replace family. You can't buy a new mother. You can't shop for a new brother. You can't order a new sister off Amazon. That's your blood. That's permanent. And no matter how much you run from it, the truth is, family is a part of you. Now, don't get me wrong. Some family issues are heavy. Some of y'all grew up with broken homes, with pain, with betrayal, with people who were supposed to protect you but ended up hurting you. And I'm not saying you got to forget everything that happened, but I am saying this, carrying that pain your whole life will keep you stuck. Forgiveness is not about excusing what they did. Forgiveness is about setting yourself free. Because when you forgive, you put the weight down. And life is already heavy enough without carrying yesterday's baggage. You know, I once heard it said that holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That's what family grudges do. You think you punishing them, but really you punishing yourself. Your peace, your joy, your spirit, all of that gets blocked because you too busy reliving something from the past. You gotta learn to let it go. Now, I ain't saying it's easy. Some of you listening right now got deep wounds. Maybe your daddy walked out. Maybe your mama didn't love you the way you needed. Maybe your siblings betrayed you. That pain is real. But here's what I know. Love is stronger than any argument. Love outlasts any disagreement. Love heals what words broke. And when you let love lead, issues don't disappear overnight, but they lose their power over you. I've seen families torn apart over money, over inheritance, over who gets what when somebody dies. I've seen brothers stop talking over a car, sisters stop talking over clothes, cousins split because of jealousy. And when you look back years later, you realize it wasn't worth it. None of it was worth throwing away a bond God put together. Sometimes the truth about family issues is that you got to be the bigger person. You're waiting on them to call, and they waiting on you to call. You waiting on them to say sorry, and they waiting on you to say sorry. And while everybody waiting, years are passing, holidays are empty, and moments you could have shared are gone forever. Sometimes you got to swallow your pride and make the first move, because peace matters more than being right. I'll tell you this, family is where you first learn what love is, but it's also where you first learn what forgiveness looks like. See, you can forgive a stranger easy because you don't see them every day. But forgiving family, that's tough. That's a test of your heart. And if you can forgive inside your home, you can forgive anywhere. There's a reason why the word of family starts with our family is familiar. These are the people who know you best. They know your flaws. They know your weaknesses. They know your mistakes. And sometimes they use that against you. But here's the thing. If you can still choose love in the middle of that, then you understand what unconditional love is. That's the truth. Don't think because you got family issues, your family is broken forever. Every family can heal. Every family can change. But it starts with somebody deciding that love matters more than the past. Somebody deciding that togetherness is stronger than division. Somebody deciding that forgiveness is better than holding grudges. Maybe that somebody is you. And let me tell you something else. If your family didn't give you the love you deserved, you have the power to break that cycle. You can be the one who shows a new kind of love to your children, to your spouse, to your future. You don't have to repeat the same mistakes. You don't have to pass down the same pain. You can create a new family legacy built on forgiveness, understanding, and love. Family issues are reality, but so is family love. They can exist in the same house, but it's up to you which one you give more power to. You can feed the issue or you can feed the love. One grows stronger, one grows weak. And years from now, when you look back, you won't remember every argument. You won't remember every harsh word. What you will remember are the times when your family stood by you, when they lifted you up, when they laughed with you, when they celebrated you. That's what lasts. That's what truly matters. You know, when it comes to family, the biggest truth I've learned is this right here. Forgiveness is the key. If you don't have forgiveness in your heart, you can't heal, you can't grow, and you sure can't build a strong family. Family wounds cut the deepest. That's why forgiveness is so powerful, because it's the only thing that can take a scar and turn it into strength. Think about it. You can be hurt by a friend. You can be hurt by somebody you work with, and you'll get over it. And you'll get over it. But when your own blood hurts you, when it's somebody who's supposed to love you and protect you, that pain sits inside of you longer than anything else, it's because family is close. Family is personal. Family knows your secrets, your dreams, your weaknesses. So when family hurts you, it feels like betrayal. And a lot of people never recover from that because they never choose forgiveness. They carry it like luggage everywhere they go. But here's what I want you to understand. Forgiveness is not about saying what you did was okay. Forgiveness is about saying, I refuse to let what you did control me anymore. Because when you don't forgive, you're giving the other person power. You're giving the past control over your present and your future. And let me tell you something. Life is too short to live chained to something somebody else did to you. I've seen families fall apart because nobody wanted to forgive. Brothers who stopped speaking for 20 years. Sisters who turned into strangers. Parents and children who couldn't sit at the same table because of something that happened a long time ago. And in the end, when time runs out, when somebody passes away, everybody regrets it. But by then, the chance to forgive face to face is gone. Don't let it get to that point. See, forgiveness is freedom. You think when you forgive, you're doing it for them. No, you're doing it for yourself. You're putting down the weight you've been carrying. You're unclogging the bitterness that's been stuck in your spirit. You're allowing peace to flow again. Forgiveness is like opening the window in a dark, stuffy room and letting the light in. Suddenly, you can breathe. Suddenly, you can see clearly. But I know what some of y'all are thinking right now. Steve, you don't know what they did to me. You don't know the pain I went through. You don't know how deep this cut is. And you're right. I don't know your specific story, but I do know pain. I do know betrayal. I do know what it feels like to be let down by people you expect to stand by you. And I can tell you from my own life, holding on to it never helped me, or never helped me, not once. Every time I refused to forgive, I lost my peace. Every time I held on to anger, I lost time I could have spent living. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget. Forgiveness doesn't mean you pretend it never happened. Forgiveness doesn't mean you let people walk all over you. Sometimes forgiveness means you let go, but you also set boundaries. You don't have to put yourself back in a toxic situation to forgive. You can love from a distance. You can forgive and still protect your peace. But don't confuse forgiveness with weakness. Forgiveness is strength. It takes a strong person to say, I won't let this define me. And here's the truth. Forgiveness is a gift, not just for you, but for generations. When children see their parents holding grudges, they learn to hold grudges too. When they see division, they carry that division into their own relationships. But when they see forgiveness, they learn compassion. They learn mercy. They learn resilience. You can break cycles in your family just by forgiving. That's how powerful it is. I've watched people go years, decades even, without speaking to their family. And when you ask why, they can't even remember the original reason. All they remember is the anger. That's what unforgiveness does. It blinds you to everything good and magnifies the bad. But when you forgive, suddenly you can see the whole picture. You remember the laughter, the love, the times they were there for you. Forgiveness doesn't erase the pain, but it reminds you that pain wasn't the whole story. Let me tell you this. Forgiveness is a decision, not a feeling. If you wait until you feel like forgiving, you'll never do it. Forgiveness starts when you decide, I choose peace over pain. I choose freedom over bitterness. I choose to heal instead of staying hurt. And when you make that choice, the feelings will follow. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you got to forgive again and again until your heart catches up. But the decision comes first. The hardest person to forgive for some of you is your parents. Maybe they weren't there. Maybe they didn't give you the love or the support you needed. Maybe they said or did things that left scars. But let me ask you this. Are you going to let that wound control your whole life? Or are you going to choose to forgive and move forward? Because here's the truth. They were broken too. They had their own wounds, their own struggles, their own pain. They gave you what they could, even if it wasn't enough. Forgiveness doesn't excuse them, but it releases you. The second hardest person to forgive is yourself. And that's part of family issues too. Some of y'all are blaming yourself for what went wrong in your family. You're carrying guilt, shame, regret, but you can't change the past. You can't go back and fix it. All you can do is forgive yourself and move forward differently. You got to tell yourself, yes, I made mistakes. Yes, I could have done better, but I forgive me. And from this day forward, I'm going to love better. I'm going to communicate better. I'm going to choose differently. However, forgiveness heals in ways nothing else can. I've seen families who were enemies for years hug each other after one apology. I've seen mothers and daughters cry in each other's arms after one act of forgiveness. I've seen men who thought they hated each other sit down, share a meal, and laugh again after one honest conversation. That's the power of forgiveness. But you got to be brave enough to start it. You can't sit around waiting for the other person to make the first move. They may never do it. If you keep waiting, you'll keep wasting your life. Sometimes you got to be the one to pick up the phone. You got to be the one to say, hey, I don't want to fight anymore. I forgive you. You got to be the one to take the step, not because they deserve peace. Q. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's choosing to value your peace more than your pride. It's choosing to create harmony instead of chaos. It's choosing to let love win over hate. And when love wins in a family, it's unbreakable. So remember this. Forgiveness is not just the key to healing family wounds. It's the key to healing your own heart.